What I'm making today are spicy frikadels. Frikadels are a very traditional South African meatball, except they're not simple. They have quite a few different ingredients in them, and today I'm going to add Philadelphia cream cheese into the meatballs. This is a perfect appetizer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with 4 pounds of ground beef, half a teaspoon of chili pepper or cayenne pepper, salt and pepper to taste. I actually mix my salt and pepper up, makes it a little easier. 1 tablespoon of crushed garlic, 2 tablespoons of pickled jalapenos, 4 cups of spinach. And what I've done to the spinach, I've gone ahead and I have chopped it up. Makes it a little easier to add into the meatballs. And my favorite Kraft shredded Parmesan cheese. I love the quality of Kraft products. And 1 block of, ta-da, Philadelphia cream cheese. This is a simple trick that I have when I make meatballs or meatloaf, is I line my pan with bread. Usually like old bread or bread that you're not going to use. What the bread does, it acts as a sponge, and it absorbs most of the fat from the meatballs or the meatloaf. Now what I also have here is 1 cup of salsa. You can use whatever salsa you like. You can make your own salsa, store-bought salsa. This is going to be for the ending product. We're going to use this to dip our meatballs in when we serve it on a platter. What you will also need as well to present these appetizers are some toothpicks, because we don't really want our guests picking up the hot meatballs with their hands and dipping them into the salsa. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the garlic to my saute pan. And what I forgot to mention earlier is that I actually added 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil to the saute pan. So in addition to the ingredients that I mentioned earlier, you need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So I'm going to add the garlic to the saute pan. And I have my saute pan on a medium-high setting. We'll give this just a minute. And then we're going to add the 2 tablespoons of pickled jalapenos. And then we're going to add the spinach, the 4 cups of spinach. Now the purpose of, doing this on the saute pan and then adding it to the ground beef is so that it actually sticks to the ground beef a little better. If we put the raw ingredients to the ground beef, it wouldn't stick as well once we form the meatballs. This just makes it a little easier. And this only takes a couple minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this. This has been sauteing for like 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take this lovely mixture and add it to this wonderful ground beef that we have here, fresh ground beef. Okay, so we've added the spinach, garlic, and the pickled jalapeno mixture to the ground beef. Now I'm going to add the half a teaspoon of chili powder. When I said spicy frikadels, I wasn't kidding. I mean, these are tantalizingly spicy. They're wonderful. And then I'm going to add the salt and pepper to taste. And I'm going to mix this up a little bit. And then I'm going to add the half a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. And the cheese acts as a really good binder since I'm not using eggs in this. Okay, so now that we've got all the ingredients mixed really well with my favorite utensils, my hands and fingers, I'm going to go ahead and form the spicy frikadels. What I do is I like to make them the size of golf balls because they do shrink about 20%, And you want it big enough to hold the cream cheese because we're going to put the cream cheese in the middle. And what I did earlier was I cut the cream cheese to little pet sizes, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add one of these in the middle of my spicy frikadelle. And I'm going to close it like a little gift, a little bit of love in the middle of the frikadelle. Warm, and it's just wonderful. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've formed my spicy frikadelles. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands real quick so I don't cross-contaminate the surfaces in my kitchen. Now, look how beautiful these meatballs look. I know they look a little big, but bear in mind they're all going to shrink about 20% and we want them big enough to hold the cream cheese in the middle, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven. I have a preheated oven, it's 400 degrees, and we're going to bake those in there till they're nice and brown and cooked on the inside. You do want to put those on the middle rack in your oven. So now our frikadelles are ready. They've been in the oven for 30 minutes on 400 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and take these out. Look how wonderful these look. All that yummy cream cheese just oozes out of our frikadelles. So how I like to present this when I'm having people over, parties, gatherings, is I present I put the salsa in the middle of a platter, whatever platter you like. I happen to always use white platters because my mom only believes in white platters and she bought me tons of these different platters. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this. And what's a good trick is to hide the cream cheese so that when your guests bite into the frikadelles, they get that special little surprise. So where the cream cheese is oozing out, just turn the frikadelle to the other side. That way they can't see it. Put these on the platter just like this. These smell fantastic. So this is our pretty party platter, my spicy Philadelphia infused frikadelles. Now over here, as you can see, the bread acts as a sponge and the bread has absorbed the majority of the fat from the meatballs. You know, by doing this, it leaves a more pleasant tasting frikadelle or meatball. Without all the fat, you get to really taste the beef. And how you would serve it, you would give your guests little side plates and a fork, and they would take one of these delicious spicy frikadelles and they would pour salsa on top of it, just like that. Now earlier I did mention about the toothpicks, but really these are actually so big the toothpicks are not going to hold them. So this would be an ideal way to present them to your guests. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sample these spicy frikadelles. And when your guests cut into it, they get to see all that gooey Philadelphia cream cheese. It's like a little surprise pocket. Let me sample this. It smells so good. I can't wait to try it. Wow. This is just fabulous. The spinach and the jalapenos just complement the creamy Philadelphia cream cheese so well. It's like a balance of sweet, now a balance of spicy and creamy. And then the tomato from the salsa just adds an extra tang. This is really a fabulous, fabulous party appetizer. I would love to thank Philadelphia Cream Cheese and Paula Dean for giving me this opportunity once again to showcase one of my favorite Philadelphia Cream Cheese appetizers. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you.